All right, so looking at some of the work we've been doing this last week, I wanted to go over some of these skills a little bit to practice as well as introduce a new skill. So we're going to talk about converting and solving with both standard and slope-intercept forms. Now, standard form, some of you may recall, is ax plus by equals c. So the main difference here between standard and slope-intercept form is that both x and y are on the same side. And another important thing is that a, b, and c are all whole numbers, right? We can also think of these as integers, and a is positive. So here's our standard form. You'll notice we have two equations in standard form over here. So for number one, it says write the function in slope-intercept form. Now, hopefully we all can remember from last week is slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So our goal here is to solve for y. Now in this case, y is right here. So I want to get y by itself. The first thing I'm going to do is subtract away the 8x to cancel that out because I can deal with the 2 later. So subtract 8x on both sides, and the 2y is still there, and we put the 8x first because it's in slope-intercept form. So now we have 2y is equal to negative 8x minus 10. We divide everything now by 2. So make sure that you're dividing every single term by 2. If it's helpful, you can write it out separately. The 2y cancels. Then it's negative 8 over 2x minus 10 over 2, so that we get our final answer of negative 4x minus 5 in slope-intercept form, where our slope is negative 4, or negative 4 over 1, and our y-intercept is negative 5. Now, one thing I was noticing in some of the work we've been producing is we want to be really careful with our negatives. So in number 2, again, it's asked for slope-intercept form. So we want to solve for y. We want to get y by itself. But notice y is attached to a negative 4. That's just fine. The 5x is positive, right? Because it's a is always positive in standard form. So I'm still going to subtract the 5x because 5x minus 5x is 0, and 5x plus 5x is 10x. That is, those don't cancel. 5x minus 5x is 0. Now notice the negative was on the 4, so that stays right there. And then this is negative 5x and positive 12. This term's negative, this term's positive. We want to keep it that same way. Then we're going to divide by negative 4. And remember, we're going to do it to all the terms. So you can think about it separately like that if that's helpful. Cancels here. So now we have y by itself, which is great. Negative 5 over negative 4 is positive 5/4 x, because the negatives cancel, but the fraction doesn't simplify any farther. Positive 12 over negative 4 is negative 3. So now when we have plus a negative, our last simplifying act will be to say that adding a negative is the same as subtracting. So our final answer is y equals 5/4 x minus 3. So we have our slope 5 over 4 and our y-intercept of minus 3. So now for the new idea, write the equation of the line passing through the points 3, 1 and negative 2, 4 in slope-intercept form. So here, if we are given 2 points like this and it's asked for slope-intercept form, we're going to break out that formula from earlier in the year. So first thing we want to do is we want to recall our formula. That slope is rise over run. So that is the difference in our y values over the difference in our x values. So our y values, we have 1, those are our 2 y values that I've just circled. So m, the second y value is 4, minus the first, which is 1. Then our x values, I'm going to use a different color. X value 1, x value 2. So x is negative 2 minus 3. And now we want to simplify. 4 minus 1 is 3. Negative 2 minus 3 is negative 5. So we might write it out as a simplified fraction of negative 3 over 5. Now this tells us our slope. Remember, we want it in slope-intercept form, so y equals mx plus b. And the x and the y stay, so we just need to replace our slope and our intercept so that we have an answer that looks something like this, right? We just leave the x and y as is. We want to replace m and b with numbers. So we already know that m is negative 3/5, but we don't know what b is. So our next goal is to solve for b. Now, if I look at this given information here, I know that this line goes through the point 3, 1. So if I look at the point 3, 1, this is an x value, this is a y value, so I can plug in my y value, my x value, and solve for b. So y is 1, negative 3/5 times 3 plus b. Now I just want to solve for b. I'm going to use order of operations, my multiplication first. 1 is equal to negative 9 over 5, multiplying those together. And then I'm going to add 9/5 to both sides. Now, in order to add fractions, I need to have common denominator, so I'm going to say that this is 5 over 5 instead of 1. So that is 14/5 is equal to b. This means that our final answer, y is equal to negative 3/5 x plus 14 over 5. Like so. If you have any questions about this or any of the other material, please come to your class Zoom, and you can leave any questions immediately in comments on Google Classroom or by email.